we'd be, all right, let's eat.
We're having big assholes tonight. Every night, forever.
Wait, he's like, wait, wrong, relax. As you look down your pig,
I was really impressed by your pig.
Do you need a pig for the show?
Very good.
I need a pig.
I guess for me it would just be, you know, okay.
Yeah, all right.
You're
Coming.
You got 6 out of 10. You know?
Yeah. Round up.
You just made it.
Next time around. Yeah.
Okay, we have about 15 minutes left, so anybody who has questions for these guys, if you would not mind lining up here so I can just get a group of people and we'll just go down the line.
Does anybody have any questions? Like, what other questions do we have?
Great, amazing.
We're even losing the bison guy. So.
That's a sky bison.
Way to be, bison guy.
Sky Bison's been a fixture. Sky Bison's
I officially love Papa, is what I'm saying.
All right.
I love dancing.
How much of your personality do you get to actually put into the characters that you dub for?
That's a very good question. Very good question.
You know, when the character appears, you get to put as much creativity, as much of your personality as you think belongs to that character. But the important part, you have limitless creativity. And of course, in each of our characters, there's a part of us. And so, but you have to be very careful that it's not you, that you're honoring the writer, that you're honoring the character that you see. But then within that scope, I mean, all of us are a little quite schizophrenic, and there's many parts to all of us. So I think we get to use a lot of our personality depending upon which character you're asking us to be.
Yes, I think that's definitely the benefit of if you, as most of us have been blessed enough to play a lot of characters. You know, I get to play little boys, punky little boys, and more realistic little boys, and teeny tiny girls, and tomboy girls, and then psychotic teachers, and, you know, all sorts of things. So luckily, I get to kind of let various parts of me, and various colors, various energy levels get to shine. You wouldn't want to, yeah, you're limited in as much as you go, well, if this character is a soft-spoken with her parameters, then me and my energy level that happens to be really high really isn't appropriate for her. And that's cool, because I get to do that in Super Gals and this and that and that and that and that, you know.
I think in any character that you tackle, there's a certain amount of things that are similar to you and dissimilar to you. And I think that you engage those things that are similar with the character and you utilize that. And then the other things you have to draw upon your acting talent and bring those to the table. So, but I think a lot of it is, if you want to make it, you know, real and genuine, I think you have to use a lot of yourself in every character you do.
What they said. I mean, I totally agree, Paul.
Yeah.
Any others?
Hi.
Hi.
What would you say the ratio is to when, like, you're voicing a character that you use your own voice, and when you, like, have to alter your voice in one way or another?
Oh,
How did you guys answer that?
Well, that's really interesting because a lot of the times when I tell people what characters I play, they don't. Sometimes I'm like, really? That was you? I mean, and it's not because my voice is even that different. It's more because I play a lot of the super excited characters. And so you don't hear that until I'm playing those guys. Like, yeah, we're really excited. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I totally see it. So I would probably say about 75% of the time, it's not this voice, it's something else. And 25% of the time, it's pretty much a variation of this, you know, with an accent or whatever.
It seems usually with the stuff I've done, it's either sort of down here, low and creepy and menacing, or it's a little high energy. But I mean, they're there's so many good people in town that can do young teen guy, young male characters that they're not like, hey Pat, be a young guy, 'cause why would they? You know, I could if I tried and I stretched, but they can very easily find someone else who has the range.
You end up destroying your voice and you annoy the director.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think I've done any.
One's an up and one's a down.
Those are fun days. I don't think I've heard a huge for a show this year. I mean, nothing's too far out from my own voice, but I don't think I've ever just walked in and just used my regular, like, everyday speaking voice for something. It's kind of weird.
I'm just happy to see Lupin and Jigen back there. Is there a Fujiko also? Oh, Fujiko. Okay, good.
Or she's
nice.
Or it's Nabashin without the afro.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, that's the great thing about voice acting, is you're not limited to your stereotype of how you look. As a film actress, I'm limited by my appearance. I always wanted to do Peter Pan. I never was allowed to, you know, these got in the way.
Works for
But-
me.
But that's the wonderful thing about voice acting, is that you can jump into any character. I do hundreds of voices, and as long as you can get there on a voice range, you're not limited by what you can achieve.
I don't have much to add. That's all very true. And, you know, I think too, it's so dependent. I mean, I've certainly met actors who are so adept, they go from accent to accent, and they have an incredible repertoire of amazingly funny and animated different voices and stuff, and I don't really think I'm particularly that kind of actor. I happen to fit really well into anime because it turns out I have a range, and a lot of the characters I sound fairly young. So if somebody, it's kind of hard, because if somebody says, do Kaname, well, it's not far off from my real voice. It's just that she has specific lines that she's given, and maybe she has a different cadence than me. She has a different pattern of speech. Every character has a different pattern of speech. It's not far off from my own voice, but I still wouldn't look at her and go, that's my own voice. It's her voice. That's kind of confusing, but...
It's more in your head than what's actually coming out of your throat.
Yeah, and plus I tend to, even with the boy voices I've voiced, I rarely get the opportunity to voice a really cartoony, broad character like that. I'm asked to voice people like Wrath in Full Metal Alchemist, the director specifically says, we want this to be very realistic. I'll be the first to tell you, it's hard for me to even replicate that outside of a studio. Because it's not a boy voice that goes into my nasal cavity and resonates somewhere in like a Bart Simpson kind of thing. It's not that. It's completely different.
It's really funny because I remember this question was asked at ASIN one year and it was Richard Cox and I doing the panel, and they were like, well, can you do some of your voices? And Richard was hilarious because he goes, okay, I'm going to do my voices now. Here's me and InuYasha. Hi, I'm InuYasha. He goes, okay, here's me and what's the half?
Ranma.
Ranma 1/2. He goes, hi, I'm Ranma. It was just like this. Everything. Hi, I'm this guy.
All right, well, I had been informed a little while ago that our guests have food waiting for them upstairs. So, give them a round of applause for joining us today.
Thank you all for being the same number as we are on stage.
Yes. You will receive full credit for this class.
Thank you very much, and I hope we pass the audition.
You guys, cool. Thank you.
2 4 12. I can't, he's dead.